Hello, one and all. Welcome to After Dark. Tonight, we are digitally coloring Aquarius, whom we drew on Tuesday. Let us share this out amongst one and everybody. Let's copy this. Okay, did we not change this on Tuesday? No, we didn't. It's not going into that. I knew it's going into after that. There we go. So, let's also get it in the on-air for anybody that wants to come on. Let's share the link out. Okay, so we've shared it out. We're ready to, I think, go. Hope everybody is doing good tonight. Well, we need to come over here and take it, let it make it so you can see Aquarius. Okay, so we need to, of course, change the size of the canvas. Make it a little smaller so it more just encompasses the sheet of paper that it was on. Come down a little. There we go. There we go. And of course we need to convert our opacity to brightness. Part of the course. We need to grab our signature here and put it on another level. And put a bunch of layers underneath the thing. Okay, so we're going to need some colors. We're going to go to a version that we've done before. And we're going to just get it to the basic colors here. That way we know what colors we're working with. Okay. There we go. Okay, so up first we do want the green here. It's going to be one of the undercolors, as well as one above it will be, and then another one that'll be very low on the totem pole will be his skin, so it's what we will grab next. So there we go. Skin. So now we go. Goose. There we go. There is our second color in. Um, okay, so our third color will be the boots. Okay, so here I have the belt matching this shoulder pad, and I didn't put these spikes on this time. I think I'm going to be taking them off. I'm not sure whether I really need them. But we're going to keep the gauntlets and the belt the same color. So this is just something that we're deciding on the moment, sort of thinking it'll go together better. Because, I think they're supposed to be metal. Um, you know what? I'm going to make this piece the same color because, again, I suspect it's going to be made out of metal. And, he's probably going to get the same type of metal to make them all out of. Although your belt could be made of other material, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking exactly. Maybe I'm not thinking right. The good thing is all these colors are on different layers. So it does mean if we want, we can change some up. Hey, Sketch. Not much. I am coloring up my character Aquarius from the other night. I'm on Discord if you want to hop on. Okay, so we'll put this up a layer of the hair. Actually, we're going to take layer 6 and we're going to put it behind at least the skin layer. And we'll grab his hair color here. And we'll put his hair color in here. You weren't on Hero Shack's gym? Yeah, I was there last night. Weren't you on Hero Shack's? Yeah, I was. Okay, so again, we'll take layer 7 on streamer and chat. I didn't see it on the stream. I was on stream on the stream or in the panel near the end. I was in about the last, I don't know, half an hour. They're trying a new format there. They do some updates for Hero Shack. Share some sort of fun fact. Something else or other. And then they have one specific type of guest on going through their book or whatever, or what they're doing. And then they have open mic after that. So all the guys that were on the chat after them at that one point were basically I dropped. I just tipped in when you weren't on the stream last night. Cool. But I was in the chat from when it began, though. Oh, did you watch my 20-minute video for My Hero Academia Crossverse yet? Hey, Eagle. I guess that question goes to you too. There's the thumbnail I made up quickly. I forgot to make a thumbnail up for it and put it up without a real thumbnail. And of course, now we have a new poll up, guys. See whether anybody else has voted on the new poll yet. We have four votes in. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Smurfs are in a neck-and-neck race. You never thought you'd hear that, I bet. Okay, let me put the link in the chat for anybody who wants to get in on the poll. No, I forget what color Aquarius is, and I should have checked that drawing out that I had up. You could have told me. Edit yourself into TNT. No, like characters from the Crossverse. Like how would the Canadian Shield fit or Snowdrift? Now, I'll probably do Canadian Shield, but I'll probably try and fit I'll probably either do Canadian Shield or Snowdrift. There. I'll pick one of the two. And I don't know what other three characters I'll put in. Different ones from last time. There'll of course be a villain. So. Well, I didn't put the outline on for him. You should edit yourself in a costume into TNT movie clip. Well, that's not really what this whole thing is for, but and if I get 25 likes on the new video, I said I'll do more for the My Hero Academia. Oh, okay, so what am I looking? Just trying to find out what eye color Aquarius here has. It's probably going to be blue. Probably I probably should have just went to my website. Probably be easier. Have Dillard off camera say, "Hey, Shield, some ninjas are burning down an antique store. Are you sure? Store, are you going to do something?" Oh, green eyes. Okay. Shield. And after I get all the colors in here decently, I think I gotta go over and erase some of these pencil lines. So it's going to be interesting to see who wins this next competition. Like I said, the Smurfs and thing. Both those should be interesting for someone to create. I'm not sure how much of backstory. How do you give a Smurf a backstory? Most of the Smurfs don't have big backstories. You know what I gotta do? I gotta rewatch the Smurfs through going through time. I know with the ones with the last movie, the whole CGI one, they find another Smurf village. I might play off that if I did that, where the regular Smurfs, they find another village, maybe a commingling Smurfs, a new villain, or a villain for that Smurf village. I don't know. It's Smurfs. What about the word Smurf in this case? Have I smurfed myself with putting Smurfs on there? Will this be a really Smurfy time? Weren't they all killed by Eric Cartman? I don't know. I didn't see if that was in South Park. I never saw that episode. See whether we got any more. Can't I see why can't I see my cursor? I can't see my cursor. Okay, hopefully this doesn't do anything to the stream. Okay, cancel. There we got our cursor back. Well, the Ninja Turtles are up. They're winning. Transformers and G.I. Joe haven't got anything yet. Hey, Eagle. I mean Dillard. How are you tonight, John? They need it, Smurf. You need the berries the Smurf ate to power this bowl. The Smurfs are winning, Rick. How are they winning? Well, could be better. Did somebody add a couple votes? No, they're not. Oh, they are. You switched. You must have switched your vote, Eagle. From the Turtles to the Smurfs. Well, the thing is, too, I could easily make one of the characters somebody who helped the Smurfs because they did have that knight that helped them. There's people from the castle there for a while in the series too. I wanted you to edit yourself into. I want you to edit yourself into a Smurf movie now. And why could you be better, John? What is wrong? Or are you just, like super busy and you don't like being super busy? But you can easily make it look good. What can I make it easily look good? I want to see Forrest Gump caliber of editing. The Canadian shield running through the forest, crushing stones. Hey, Mrs. Dillard, how are you? So, in case anybody is wondering, I did finish the My Hero Academia video today. I put it up. Um, I'll wait to see what people think of it. I know Mallet seemed to like it. Joshua seemed to like it. If we get 25 likes on it, like I said, I'll do some more My Hero Academia characters for it. Do another video of that at some point. And I haven't seen the video yet. I'm scared. And of course, we have a new video up. We have a new. Well, you haven't been seeing what I've been doing. I forgot to take it off Chrome. We have a new poll up. For what universe should I mix up my characters in? And the choices are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers, G.I. Joe, or the Smurfs. These girls need to go to bed. You watch yourself. All the girls need to go to bed. So yeah, if everybody wants to go over there, again, I'll put that link in the thing for people who want to vote on that. Also, I will grab the link to and let's see whether we can also get last time we got 17 votes. I have considered it thoroughly, and I've decided not to go over there and vote. Okay. And there's a link to the video whenever people want to watch it. Save it for later. Let's take this off. People haven't been able to see what I was doing. I forgot to take it off Chrome. So in your face, Rick, you won't vote. John authorized me to join the chat. Otherwise, I'm not allowed to. thought you were an independent woman there, Mrs. Dillard. I should cause a commotion between John and his wife. So I'll be quiet now. He is. I dare you time out Dillard draws, Mrs. Dillard. Are you all trying to get Mrs. Dillard's wrench taken away? Don't listen to them. Don't take anybody's wrench, Mrs. Dillard. Don't time anybody out. They're just trying to get your wrench taken away. Okay, can we stop with the one word um, text is the wrong word, but Rick took Mallet's wrench for this once. Yes, sir. Salute. Don't have to salute. It seems lately that there has been nothing going on in the crossverse. What is that? What do you mean by nothing going on in the crossverse, Dillard? Or what do you mean by going on at all? What's supposed to be going on? I'm trying to do an interesting video thing where I take my characters and put them in different things. By nothing, I mean nothing. What the hell do you think I mean? You think nothing? By nothing, I mean something. To say something? No, but I guess it's what do you expect to be going on? Do you mean like For my channel, or do you mean for me doing any sort of promotion, or your channel is without joy? You mean lack of update? Why do you think my channel seems lack of joy? Where is the spirit? I just did this new video and that seemed pretty joyful and good there. Or maybe it's just, the whole COVID nonsense. Life sucks at the moment, so. I don't know. Yeah, a little here and there, but not overall. You need to find a woman named Joy and put her in the show. Then you used to be excited to talk about the crosswords. Problem solved and don't need to thank me. Oh, I'm always happy to talk about the crosswords, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what I mean half the time. Dang, Tim, that is a dad joke for the books. That is the dad joke for all ages. Um, I don't know. Has anybody else think that not talking, or how did Jill put it, that I don't seem as excited to talk about the cross comics as I used to be, or as long as things go good, I'm going to be launching a couple books in about 7 months. But actually somehow I don't think that's going to happen. I won't June, but I'll have Snowdrift done for that time period. But I'm not sure about the Canadian Shield. You might want to retort why John hasn't streamed in a while. I'm definitely trying to find ways to grow my channel. Maybe it's that. I don't know. If there's Ooh. Hey, yo, why so serious? TB Joshua says, a still. Hey, Wise, how are you? Is it the long pauses between campaigns because you're trying to do 2 books at once? Well, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, with my one artist being slower than I would like, shall we say, nicely, that's the main reason I think for a long time between books at the moment. And it could be, why do you think Rissa? Oh, I forgot to come up and do this part here. Not you, John! The guy on the Canadian Shield! Let's put it this way. I like his art, Noah, and he's cheap. But I probably won't be picking him up for the next book. Canadian Shield 3 or Snowdrift 2 or Flame number 1. And I know he's had some medical problems. But, like it's been over a year on this one book. Oh, you mean his work speed, not his IQ. Oh, that's good that Don Chin received the box. Do you know when he's going to be doing his stream about it? Wise? So 2 people. Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, okay. What about Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific? Oh, next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific, that's when he's doing the stream? Oh, you're streaming on Wednesday? No, I think that's about Don Chin doing the boomerang box. So that'll be noon my time. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there for that one. Wait, did Dunn already do his boomerang box opening? I don't think so. Hey, Mike, and thanks for returning the favor, the flavor. Do, 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 do. Okay, so we're going to come up here. We're going to start to do, get rid of some of these lines that we don't need. Clean this up a little bit. It all makes sense now. Yes, it does. It was. And yeah, again, everybody who has it, if you want to go over to my community tab and be sure to vote on the latest poll there. We had 6 votes at the moment. Okay, what universe should I mix cross comics up with this time? I should edit that. Oh, you got a choice between the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers, G.I. Joe, and the Smurfs. So go check that out, and then when this video is over, be sure to check out my video where I mix cross comics up with My Hero Academia. And if we get 25 likes on that video, we will be putting it together with. We'll do some more characters of the Crossverse in there. So to make things more interesting, build up that sort of universe. So yeah, go check those out. Well, the one later, the one right now you can do in another tab or watching me. So I know John says he's not going to. especially right now, but maybe he doesn't like the choices. Who knows? And once in a week or two, when I think we have enough votes, I'll declare the winner, and I will do drawings of my characters and some sort of story with them or their backstories in that universe. How would the Smurf versions of the crossover look much different than normal Smurfs? I don't know exact Canadian Shield Smurf. I don't know exactly Chibi Joshua. That's something that I would obviously have to figure out. Snowdrift Smurf. Um, it was something I was talking about earlier here. Don't almost know. Yeah, but they have different things that make them unique. Like Jokey's always um, giving people those presents that go boom. You know, Hefty's got, I think, a little bit bigger build. And of course, he's, you know, got the heart on his, the tattooed heart on his thing. Would you draw yourself as Gargamel? No, I would not draw myself as Gargamel. I would, I put one of my villains in, and I'm not sure he wouldn't be a Smurf, obviously. Um, he would be some sort of enemy because the Smurfs did have more than Gargamel as an enemy uh, during their run. So that, maybe I'd do something with that somehow. Hey, Bianca fights the dummies. Long time no see, Dylan. I gave it a lot of thought, Rick. I don't know why it has to be a thing. I have deeply held personal beliefs that I've decided that I will not rock the vote. Respect my decision and not harass me. I'm not harassing you. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to get everybody else to get out and vote. On my poll, on my thing, on my community tab. And yeah, like I said, I think I said, "How are you, Bianca?" Oh, I have to color his inside of his mouth for his teeth or whatever. It's at 63%. What's at 63%? One of the... Oh, we're at... Ooh, the Smurf... It looks like the Smurfs are going to win. We're at 8 votes. Stop the count. Mandate the vote on the community poll. Like Trudeau mandates proper pronouns. Well, unfortunately, I can't mandate stuff here. I just voted. Suckers. I must admit, I am a little surprised that the Smurfs are winning. You did this to yourself, Papa Smurf. Oh, Robert Shepard commented, you did this to yourself, Papa Smurf. Bow. Rick, don't accept mail-in votes. I don't. Don't don't make me use my alternate account. No, Joshua, be nice. Only use one account to vote. We know you could personally sway it whichever way you want it on this. There's also a link to the community tab in the description. Tim, what makes you think he hasn't? If you don't vote, you're anti-science. I am. What you suggested, Tim? And I'm not, in case anybody's thinking it, I'm not gonna like mix up, like Canadian Shield and Hefty Smurf. If the characters are Smurfs, they're going to be Smurfs. If they're not a Smurf, they're not going to be a Smurf. They're not going to be any villain ever seen before in the Smurfverse. And yeah, I was saying earlier that I was talking sort of with, I'm not sure who, Timothy, please do me a favor, just for old time's sake. Just pretend I'm not here and you never heard of me and you don't see my chats for the next 15 minutes. Finally, yeah, too bad. But yeah, I also remember the Smurfs had their human friends. So, I could even make one of my heroes a human friend to the Smurfs. If you can do that for me, I will know you are my true friend. No, they have to be Smurfs. Well, I'm just saying, in this universe, I have that option. I'm probably not going to try and do that. Obviously, my villain that I use, because I will use one villain. I'll do three. I'm probably going to do just what I did for the last video. 3 heroes and 1 villain. The villain will have a completely different backstory or whatever. This is nice. Do you have that opinion, Rick? And if you hate your chat and have no respect for their votes, I'm sure you'll do that. What? Oh, you do have that option, Rick. And if you hate your chat and have no respect for the votes, I'm sure you will do that. Well, my biggest problem with doing the Smurfs, and I will do the Smurf universe, and minimum of one of my characters would be a Smurf, no matter what. I could only really see doing it with for the heroes if I were to do it with one, but I can't even be. I probably will make them all Smurfs. The only problem, like I said, is Smurfs. How do you do background for them? What, Rick Piper? But why would you do that? What would that redesign even look like? The character is normal form, boring. No, that's well. The first of all, the Smurfs are in the medieval age, so the character would be given probably a medieval look. My biggest thing is I want to make the video entertaining. Yes, you're gonna see it, and I do want to be talking during it, and I want to be talking. I don't want the video to be, 2 or 3 minutes. I want the video to be, a minimum of 10 minutes, I would say. So my biggest problem, like you said, is Smurfs don't have a Smurfs as a whole have a backstory. Smurfs as individuals don't have backstories. But I've got ideas that I might do, even making them, like I said, all Smurfs. Then there's the villain. Maybe that villain will help. Gargamel has more of a backstory than the individual Smurfs. So maybe that relates. Maybe that's where things will come into play in this tormentor of the Smurfs that I'll create for one of my characters. Because it's going to be interesting to do. And why make the Smurfs an option? Maybe I didn't fully think it through. Oh, what would a Canadian shield in the Smurfs look like? A dwarf in superhero cosplay? Maybe. Oh lordy lord. Just make them all Smurfs. No one cares about Gargamel. Wait, you're saying I should make my villain a Smurf? That makes to me no sense. Making a new villain there looks good because the Smurfs do have more than Gargamel to deal with. Yes, he is their main antagonist. I think that's the right word. Smurfs are this poll's My Hero Academia. Make the villain erase too. If the poll fits, you must commit. Yeah, well, I am committed to doing. If Smurfs come out, that's what I'm doing. It's this. I said the Smurf universe. There's lots that comprise the Smurf universe. There are evil gray Smurfs in the live action movie. Yeah, but again, they were created by Gargamel, by the bad guy. So I guess I could. I'm pretty sure they were created by Gargamel, those gray ones. Like, why didn't you make this character's metal look like metal? Reflective rendering. I'm not done yet. Sketch. Rick gets immediate and valuable feedback on what his consumers want. He then proceeds to spend the rest of the show telling them why they are. I'm not saying there's anybody stupid. I just know I want to make it the best possible. If the best possible thing is for them, every character to be some sort of Smurf, yes. And that's what I will do. You know, I thought it was people wanting Rick would people. You know, I put up the options, and I thought it was people wanting to see my interpretation of how these characters would fit in that universe. Uh, I hate it when people tell me when I cannot talk. No, it's Latin. And since the Smurfs are so small and simple, you could probably draw more than 4 of them. Yeah, that's true. Joshua. So you're culturally appropriating then, Tim. Opinions. Oh, Latin is a dead language. Uh, and Dillard didn't say that he wasn't asking you not to speak, Tim. He was just asking you not to ignore him. That's all I'll say about that. I don't want to. Well, that was the person. Well, that person was the bulk of the chat, so that is true, but you cannot say it's 100% the chat. Well, that person was the bulk. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was the bulk of the chat, but just not. I don't want to get into anything. Okay, so we know the eyes are good. Let's see. I'm gonna redo. Check out this. So you've been drawing this character, and all I know is he is a bad guy. uh, well, I got his. I think I got his profile up. I'm not sure. What series is he going to be in? Well, his first appearance is in The Flame, Tim. What issue? Well, let's zoom out when we do this. Okay, his name is Douglas Smith. I think I'm going to put his height down on land. He's supposed to be 6'10". But then again, that could have something to do with his mutation or something that you'll find out in a few minutes. Is this the crossover Aquaman? No, this is a bad guy sketchbook, so definitely not Aquaman. He does get a tail when he is in the water. Anyways, I have at the moment he's 6'10" on land. He was a stockbroker. I'm not sure. He's not so much that anymore. He's single, blonde hair, green eyes. First appearance is in The Flame number 10. Douglas was born and raised in a well-adjusted home. By choice, he became a loner at an early age, having a natural talent for math and economic type subjects. He more than excelled in them in school. After high school, he took college courses majoring in math and economics. Well, Aquaman and Namor have been enemies. The heroes at times. True. But they're more known as heroes than they are villains. Well, that may not be so true of Namor. Namor has been probably equally villain as much as he's been hero. Graduating from college, he got scooped up by a brokering firm. Still enjoying his solitude, he worked at home via his personal computer, phone, email, all that sort of stuff. Well, Imagine Comics had their own sea-dwelling character named Roman. Okay. when I showed. So I guess it's fair to have one. I have a few sea-dwelling characters. I have Pisces because I did the whole Zodiac. They're all bad guys, my Zodiac. During this time, he becomes a hacker on the net for fun. One day, while surfing the net, he came across the computers of Professor Evolution, see profile. In the midst of playing around on her computers, he decides to crash them and does so. She had, at this time, been operational only for a couple weeks. After much work, she gets her computers up and running again and tracks down who crashed her computers. Upon doing so, she seeks out and finds who was responsible for her computers crashing, at which time she sends out minions to capture him and bring him back to her lab. When he arrives, she starts genetic experiments on him, and he ends up, you couldn't at least give him his own color scheme? I guess it could. It doesn't have Aquaman's orange. It's got the green. But I think I've said how it happened. I gotta look for it. But he ends up escaping escaping probably with a bunch of people. There is a mass escape that happens from her thing. A bunch of the people that she's captured do a jailbreak, for lack of a better way of putting it. Prison break, And then he comes back to find out that he has been replaced. She's putting somebody in his spot to replace him, and now he's, at the office, and so his identity basically gets stolen, and with his identity getting stolen, he decides to create himself a new identity, and that of Aquarius. Powers and skills. Doug can breathe underwater indefinitely and swim at speeds up to 50 knots. I'm going to probably increase that because found out on Tuesday that's only about 58 miles per hour. So I want to give him make him a little bit faster than that. Nowhere near as fast as Aquaman. He can go to unlimited depths and has night vision. Yeah, he can breathe underwater. Aquarius has sonar ability and has super strength and can blast water from his hands. How can he breathe underwater? Through the genetic experiments done on him by Professor Evolution. I didn't say that he can breathe underwater indefinitely, but I think I did. I did actually say that. Doug can breathe underwater indefinitely. He's been, like I said, he was genetically experimented on. So somehow in the genetic experiments, that is where it occurred. Oh, no, he's given I remember one thing. He is codenamed Project Aquarius by Professor Evolution. So she is the one who is responsible for his code name. Indefinitely is a given if you can breathe underwater. Does he have super strength like close to his shield? I'll say probably not. I'm not sure how strong the shield is technically out of uniform. He probably is stronger than him out against his will against his will, Timothy. He was captured because he crashed the other villain's computers in his hacking. And this was the genetic experimentation on him was, payback. Hey, everybody, how are you? Oh, he should because he can reach the deepest depths. Yeah, well, yeah, that's fairly strong. But I know he'd be stronger than man like Cougar, but not necessarily stronger than Canadian Shield. The pressure he can take means his body is strong to hold up to pressure. Strong enough to hold the pressure. And to breathe and swim. Yeah. I get that, Sketch. But we do know the whatchamacallit. The suit makes man like Cougar, I would say, ridiculously strong. Sketch knows that if he times you out rebellious, then I'll take his wrench. And I don't think he wants his wrench taken. I could be wrong, but no. Because in the first issue, as you know, uh, he ripped a tree out of the ground in a frozen wasteland. Well, maybe not wasteland, but frozen tundra or whatever. And throws it into space with ease. And with him doing that with ease, what can he do that's not so easy? Wait, why would you take a wrench to somebody else? Because for me, if somebody asked you to kill them, would you kill them just because you asked for it? Would you not still be punished? She has become her alter ego, evil Pop Tart. How is that a bad analogy? In my chat, you can't time somebody out without a good reason. And because they asked for it isn't a good reason. Hello.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
I'm okay. Do you still want me to answer why that was such a bad analogy and you should time yourself out?
Yeah, sure. I'm not sure
Because
whether I can.
that's life and death, not being timed out for a few seconds. For a few
Yeah,
seconds on a chat. That the consequences aren't the same.
well, I'm just using it, as you said, as an analogy.
No, I mean
On my chat, it's a crime
Rebellious
for.
literally asked me to time them out. So why would I not oblige them unless I personally don't feel like it? You
Well,
see
if,
what I'm saying?
uh, well, I was making the more of the
Why would I
analogy
be penalized?
as I
Why would I be
was
penalized?
trying to say, and as I did say, I'm not sure
I
whether you
got a
heard
better
it.
analogy for you. How about if you're the the non-bully in your class and the somebody asks you, "Hey, could you give me a wedgie?" and you oblige them. Should you be punished for that?
Yep.
No, you shouldn't. They literally asked for it.
Yeah, but if you did that at a school and they asked for it, would not the school punish the person giving the wedgie whether they were
They
asked for it or not?
shouldn't. They shouldn't. Gotta time it
If
right.
it's a crime, for lack of a better way of saying it, to give people wedgies at that school,
Or better yet, if somebody tells you, "Tell me to shut up," or "Tell me shush," because that's basically what timing out is. The internet
sir,
is real life, dude. You wish, Joshua. A teacher would punish you.
if they knew about it, they did know about it, they would. Can't punish you don't something you don't know about, right?
Oh, I know Rebellious was just messing with me. I,
Yeah.
I just decided to mess with Rick, and then that analogy that Rick used was so horrible. I had to jump on here and tell him that he needs to time himself out.
I don't think it was that horrible.
Oh, it's pretty bad, man. You took it to the furthest extreme.
Yeah, I could have went something, like burglary. If somebody told you to rob
Yeah,
their
and
joint.
that still wouldn't have been as bad. And technically, unless the state picks it up, you can actually drop the charges on somebody if they break into your house. and you as the owner say, "I told them to break into my house." You don't have to give the reason why you told them. I mean, you could have lost your keys or whatever, but you could literally tell them, "I told them to break into my house," and they can't charge them with breaking and entering
Yeah.
unless the city or the state picks it up, which does happen a lot. I've even had people like that I know, friends of mine, that got locked up because they broke into their parents or their own home. He got jailed for it. I mean, they served prison time because the city that they lived in picked it up. And I'm like, how did you do time for breaking into your own place?
No, now that is ridiculous. Getting time for breaking into your
Yeah, he
own
did like
place.
a year and a half. Yeah, he was sentenced to death for timing someone out. See, you should time yourself out. Even Timothy gets this. No, but you're chatting with someone via long distance. I am doing rebellious pastry, the Christmas card exchange over on my channel right now.
Cool.
Want me to join? No, I'm good. Oh.
He can if he wants to. We're not doing much.
You heard him? You heard
Yeah.
him in the background? I'm trying to find rebellious's. Why is rebellious not showing up on my? Did did YouTube unsub me from rebellious? That'd be messed up. I've never been unsubbed from people before, but they have. No, that would be my first time that it's happened. Yeah, it's never happened to me before. Now they put them where they don't mention the, like, they don't put them up on top of their live streaming, which they're supposed to. Anybody that's live streaming is supposed to be on the very top.
Yeah.
So again, like I told you, it would be a good idea to go back and redesign a lot of these characters when you decide to put them in the book to put the book out. Just an idea because you don't really want to be dealing with, not that you're big and that they're gonna come after you, but again, you don't want to rattle that cage on purpose.
No.
They even
Uh,
find that you're CG adjacent, and somebody will get a hold of it on Twitter. They ain't got no lives.
yeah, well, I think this guy's enough different than Aquaman. Yeah, yeah, there's, what? Well, I guess the blonde hair is similar and, the green pants. But, he's got a bare chest. He can't, and their powers are, yeah, they're both underwater guys, but, he turns into like a merman when he goes in water.
No, there's some others, Timmy. There's some others. I've gone through his website. There's some that do bear resemblance to others. Yeah, but look at the belt, look at the boots, the crown that he wears, and the gauntlets plus the
Yeah,
trident. All that is
well, yeah,
reminiscent of
I'll agree.
Aquaman.
Aquaman has a trident, but
The
Aquaman doesn't have gauntlets.
Fellas, all I see is the video for the announcement on your channel. I don't see the actual video of the Christmas cards. And I don't have a problem with it. Rick, do you have a problem with sharing a video in the chat?
No,
A link to their video? or to Rebellious's video?
No,
My bad.
I've let her do it before, so although she doesn't have a wrench at the moment.
Why did you take Rebellious's wrench? Didn't Rebellious have a wrench?
Yeah, she accidentally timed out Dylan. I guess I can give it to her back. Or she says she accidentally timed out Dylan.
I was there for that stream. I would have enjoyed that. What did he tell you? Rebellious timed me out?
No, I seen in the chat it said rebellious basically timed out Dillard. Dillard draws. And then she's like all denying it.
I think Dillard needs his wrench back too. It's just a suggestion though. Plus it would work to your benefit. This character kinda sounds kinda cool. Like that's what I'm telling you. The fact that he could stand those pressures, he should have some form of like really super strength, like
Yeah,
crazy super strength.
yeah,
Because just do a little bit, some light research on the amount of pressure. That's why a lot of those fishes, like they're see through, because they're like they can't take the pressure. Anything with any mass down there like starts to crumble.
yeah.
So I would look into some of that. I mean, like
Oh yeah. Well,
this guy might be able to be able to like withstand rounds. He might have tough skin just from that too.
yeah. Like I've already written the first appearance, and I don't know when he appears after.
Yes,
You
but
know,
it's not out. It's not out yet. You could always rewrite it. That's what rewrites are for.
no, no, I like the way I've written it. Do I have it offhand?
I got a question for you, Rick. Would you ever let Tim write one of your books?
Maybe eventually. I've actually what I want to work on, and I have to really get starting on it. Is I want to make. Yeah, I've had other people write, and I'm not sure whether that was the best. Like as you know, Canadian Shield was written by a friend of mine, or I've given him credit. I did some edits to make it a little better and more accurate. But I think for the first quote unquote year and a half of my books, what's left to be writing for them, I want to write them. That way I get the characters that are out during that time, people get at least a little bit of feel for them for what I want them to be, especially the heroes.
I think the crossverse needs a little bit of extreme, Timothy. I think Rick would like some of the stuff you would do because Rick is a fan of some of the image stuff from the 90s. I've heard him talk about it.
I don't know a lot about the image stuff from the 90s. I know some of the characters, I think, like
Yeah,
Spawn, and I wouldn't know much more who is
they'll make
there.
his armor out of shells. I would say make his armor uh, like a certain type of fish scale that's an armor plate. Like there's fish, and I know they're even in Canada, especially up north in the cold waters. The sturgeon. Have you ever seen a sturgeon fish? They call it the dinosaur fish,
See,
and it's got like plates on it. Make his trident out of whale bones. Hmm. I don't think whale bones are that strong though. I don't think so. They should be though, because whales can dive to a heck of a deep depth. His crown should be a shark jaw. Believe it or not, that actually wouldn't look half bad.
this is stuff that could possibly be done to him. Like, I know the issue where he first appears, you don't really see him in his get up till like near the end because
I I will see Tim's shark jaw, and I will raise you the jaw of that fish that lives in the deeps, that has those fangs. I would put that as an entire like helmet on him and have it make it different colors because that's the one that shines all those colors, and it has that like light bulb hanging from it. That fish looks scary, by the way. And so when you see him Finding Nemo, have you ever seen Finding Nemo? That one fish that tries to eat them.
Yeah, I think I know what you.
I like Eagle's idea. Make his trident a fork and draw him devouring the fish of the ocean. Well, technically, I don't know if he would be an ecological terrorist like uh, Aquaman and Neymar. Well,
No,
more Neymar than Aquaman, um, because he wasn't born in the ocean. He he just has the abilities because of that the
genetic.
the genetic testing or science experiment they did on him.
Yeah. Uh, what can I get?
I would say make his trident out of a mineral that we haven't seen on the surface, something that is found only in the depths of the ocean, so
Yeah.
that it could stand up to metal, Tim. Because bone, no matter how hard it is, isn't gonna go toe to toe with like uh a sword
Yeah.
or
Well, yeah.
weapons like guns.
When he first makes this, I'm saying what he can do at this point, but when he doesn't even know the extent of his powers really
Black
when he
eyes.
creates his initial costume.
It had black eyes like doll's eyes. Isn't that a Jaws quote, Joshua? Good point. Is that a pun, Tim? Yeah, I've told Rick too that he should lose the belt. The belt is the more dead giveaway of comparing him to Aquaman.
Like I know I can go over a little bit. Um, it's like inside Professor Evolution's laboratory prologue some months ago. Professor Evolution, Mr. Smith, you have been taken captive for two real reasons. One is so you can be experimented on. The other reason, and being the most important of the two, show person-sized containment unit with Doug Smith in it, with wires attached to him and a breathing apparatus attached to his face. Professor Evolution, is that you hacked into my computers mere weeks after I had them set up and crashed them, thus ruining many precious experiments. So now you are the experiment because of this. Rest assured, Mr. Smith, no one will miss you because I've sent someone to replace you. So your income will become mine. And then it's like days go by as Doug begins to be experimented on, and codenamed Project Aquarius. Days turn into weeks and weeks into months. Uh,
So is he part of the Zodiac crew?
yeah, he's going to be. Page 2 is a splash page. It says show Aquarius, Pisces, Tygon, and 21 other genetically altered beings scattered from a broken wall. In other words, they're breaking out of Professor Evolution's lab a whole bunch of her experiments.
Timothy, if they sewed somebody's butt to their chest, if they wore a V-neck, would they be sagging? That's the important question. I'm messing with Tim. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was listening to you, Rick.
yeah. And then the caption is on the splash page. till finally more than 24 of the subjects mount and escape together.
Mm.
And let's see. And then
Are you gonna go with webbed hands and feet?
no. I don't think so. I forget whether I've done that or not. Page 4, outside a semi-fancy house. Caption, meanwhile, elsewhere, because I skipped some stuff that had happened before. Doug, thinking to himself, here I go, time to get my life back. All I have to do is get that guy in there to cooperate, and with the powers I have, it should be easy. Okay, he knows about some of his powers. Doug ringing the bell. Imposter Doug. Looking through the people. Imposter Doug. What would you like? Doug. I need to talk to you, sir. Imposter Doug. I don't know you and we have nothing to talk about. Doug. He's not thinking he's not going to let me in. There's probably one that I might show up. What do I do now? Guess there's only one thing I can do. Imposter Dog flying backwards as a concentrated blast of water against the door.
Yeah.
So he knows about his water blasting abilities. He probably doesn't know how far he can go down in the ocean. He might not even know that he can go down in the ocean yet.
Okay, this is the problem. I've always had an issue with this with certain characters. Is he water blasting as in he's blasting water that he's creating out of thin air?
Yeah,
Or is he manipulating water from around the area?
yeah. Well, he could be taking I don't know how it works. He could be creating it out of sort of thin air, or he could probably more realistically just grabbing the water molecules in the air and sort of putting them, bringing them all together to create a blast, something to that effect. These things I don't think of this when I created it. I didn't think of the science of it, how it was being done. It was just he can do it. And that's how a lot of characters were created, right? They didn't think of the science behind them. Just they can do it. Or they came up with some cockamamie science thing that doesn't really work.
Mm.
Like gamma rays. Well, gamma rays for real, but never would they make you into the Hulk. So yeah, there's a fight there.
What happened to the Dillards? I don't see them in the chat no more.
I don't know. The police come, water blast. Yeah, so in the first fight, the flame isn't even there. And then the next time we see him, he's in like some abandoned warehouse, contemplating what to do next since he can't get his old life back. He figures he's got to start stealing money or whatever. And I guess this is more where he comes up with
No.
the look.
Are his powers gonna have any sort of detriment to his life? If he could breathe underwater and do all these things, does he need water to sustain part of his life?
No,
Like, so he doesn't
he
get
doesn't.
ultra dry skin or anything like that?
He doesn't. My character Pisces will.
I will warn you, if you do stuff like this, you may make your characters too OP. and that's hard for people to swallow when they read.
Yeah.
It's one of the detriments to Superman. It's why a lot of people like that don't like him tend to call out things like the writing being off or poor because he's so overpowered and stuff like that. It,
Yeah.
it takes a certain type of writer to be able to write a good Superman story.
Yeah.
I know that this guy is not a good guy, but I'm saying because then it's gonna be like he's like massively overpowered and has no like real weakness. Gets boring. That's what Timothy said. See, that's true
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Well, it's well, like, and like you said, he's a villain. You're not going to see him as often as you would say Superman. It's not like you're writing a monthly issue on him. And like
Eagle,
it says, for him,
Captain, yeah,
yeah,
Captain Evil Stopper and myself are gonna actually sit down and listen to the Doc Savage, the YouTube stuff that they have for him, and then we're possibly gonna do a review of it. Because I was telling him about Doc Savage. Because when you asked him about the popes, he actually
yeah.
does like popes. By the way, Eagle. Doc Savage is powered by Slim Jims. Doggone it! Why did I even laugh at that? That's a dad joke, Tim. So you were saying, Rick?
Like I've, like I say in that thing, what he can do. I think it's going to be a while before he realizes the extent of his powers. If you know what I mean. Like in this, I don't even think he ends up in the water. Well, I think he ends up into the water. And that's how he escapes. I think at the end, you know.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm trying to, it's this, I thought fire versus water would be, a good, probably at the time I thought it would be a good show off, He can get the flame, completely wet, but, can the flame, like dry him out or just, steam up the whole area. I think he ends up steaming up the whole area by blasting his water, Fire met with water, creates steam, sort of gives him a way to escape. Well, actually, is that the way it is? I don't know. Sure. I don't know. I'm trying to read, but not to give too much away,
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, you don't have to go any further than that. I mean,
Yeah,
you've pretty much given us the origins of the character.
yeah. I gave you the basic origins. That he's just learning his powers, and after this issue, I don't know when he appears next.
According to Ego, he learns that he can understand fish, but only after he eats one of their kind. After he eats a goldfish, he understands goldfish.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not gonna talk to fish like Aquaman. But who is it? Aqualad 2. He can. Uh, he can't make water objects or anything objects out of water. All he can do is like blast water. So it's. I think it's gonna. You know, there are a few characters that make more than one appearance in that first year and a half of my comics, but a lot of characters don't make a second appearance. Probably over 3/4 of them, I would say, don't make a second appearance. Like Dust and Dust Angel make a second appearance. Ultraviolet makes more than one appearance. Extendo and Speed do. So what's up? 1,
Look,
2,
I'm doing a little
3,
research real quick, and this is the way I would develop this
4.
character. If you ask me, hey, can you do me a concept of this character and or his storyline? You're putting him in the Zodiac, right? I mean, you're using modern day Zodiac. I think the Zodiac. There's people that say that it starts as early as the Babylonian civilization,
Yeah.
but I want to say it's from Greek. But either way, you could take the armor of a warrior from either of those civilizations and you can retrofit it. Like say the
Yeah.
Greek, you can use the Greek armor, which
Yeah.
it looks like the form of a male's chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you could use something like the shield that the Spartans have, or the spear that they have, and then put a Spartan type helmet on him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You could do stuff like that, and that's how you do. That's how I develop characters. Whenever
Yeah.
I have to develop a character, so that there's meaning in everything that the character has,
Yeah.
not just
I get that. The question is, would Douglas Smith, what sort of research would he done when he creates his armor?
Well,
Probably not
here's the
much.
here's the thing. That would be part of the writing because he's no longer Douglas Smith. He's going
Yeah.
to take the persona of Aquarius. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So this is not Doug Smith. This is Aquarius.
Yeah. I get that it's Aquarius, but he's transforming to Douglas Smith. He to become Aquarius, he only has the knowledge of Douglas Smith and whatever like he probably the trident that he makes or gets or whatever he probably gets because of having seen Poseidon or Neptune with a trident, so he thinks, oh yeah, I should get a trident. I'm going to be
That,
Aquarius.
that's even better. If you're using Poseidon, then you're going Greek.
Yeah, but again, he's going to probably go from a cursory knowledge, not an in-depth knowledge, and I'm just using that as a quick example,
Yes,
top of
he
my
does.
head.
You don't have to make the character have an in-depth knowledge. You're the one that's
Uh,
gonna have the in-depth knowledge. He's
yeah,
gonna come across this, like
yeah,
he's gonna Google or research what Aquarius is, right? Like let's say he does a Google
yeah,
trying to find Project Aquarius, and he runs into the whole Aquarius thing,
yeah.
and he runs into
Well,
that
Project
it's Greek
Aquarius.
or Poseidon.
He knows
I'm
Aquarius is
familiar.
water bearer. He knows he can shoot water. That's what's the code name he was given. You wouldn't be able to find the Project Aquarius on the internet. At least not the part one that he
Yeah,
was a
but
part of.
he doesn't know that.
Well, he would, because he would realize from his time where he was that he was in like somewhere secret. That this person and
Now,
the little bit of
okay.
time that he
Now
spent
you're
on
giving him more credit. First you were saying, well, he's not gonna know that much in depth, and now you're
no
saying, well, he's gonna know that it's a secret thing and this and that. I'm
well
like, you can't have it both ways, buddy.
well
Sorry.
well he's been held there for months on end. He also broke into her computers, so he might have learned something then too. You
Also, he's
know,
a bit of a nerd. If he knows how to break into computers, then he probably would know.
yeah,
He would know some of this.
yeah. Like I said, he became
Odysseus did nothing wrong.
a hacker, but I don't know what his interests necessarily are in hacking or whatever. Whether he just fools around. He fooled around and he decided to crash your computers. I didn't give the exact reason. You know, maybe he learned in what he did that what this person was doing while he was on their computers, just looking around, and decided to crash them.
I'm just trying to give you some
Yeah,
general advice. You can take it or leave it.
Yeah. Well, maybe eventually, I might update the costume or do something more with the costume. But, when he first creates his costume, I can't see it being any different. Actually, I did one thing different with this.
Oh yeah, Timothy,
It,
I'm down for that. I'm just working on my art to get better. I'll definitely like to bring you in on a project. I like to do some creative stuff, like do concept art and stuff like that. I would like to bring. I like the way you did those little stories. Like I said, you have more than one story in there. You just need a your writing is a little narrow, but it's because you're focused on those characters, and I could see it. It's not a bad thing. I'm not trying to like. I'm not insulting you. I like your writing.
like I even changed something this time with this character, and I'll show you in a second. There, it's come up. See, he had these things on the side of his head, or not on his head, but beside his head on his costume.
Well, I remember
These pointy,
this. I remember this drawing.
these pointy gray things. I have now taken them off. They're no longer there. I just didn't think. I finally thought, okay, they don't really look all that good. Let's just take them off.
I'd like to try to do some animation with you, Rebellious. I don't know how to use the animation side of Fire Alpaca. Rebellious is my Fire Alpaca teacher, sort of. Some character building in the next issues.
Yeah.
Dude, I like Melvin. Melvin has a chance to be. Look, I'm not. This isn't to kiss your butt or nothing. But Melvin's character design and the way you do the action has. If you get the right artist, it has a very big heavy metal feel to it, like the heavy metal magazine. I wouldn't say it's generic. The design is more like it's like I said, like it's heavy metal. It's like very rock. It's very hard rock inspired. Like the artists that were really into that kind of art, and you would benefit from an artist that does that kind of what's it called, the work, like painting style, where you do a very fantasy, like space fantasy painting style. I thought you used Fire Alpaca for animation, Rebellious. Oh no, Rick's character. What about Rick's
Yeah.
character?
No,
I
no,
like his character. The
no.
only
He's
reason
just
I'm
saying
giving
the
him.
design is a little generic for this, and it
Oh,
probably is because I'll admit I probably pulled a lot from DC and Marvel, and especially the early type stuff designs or whatever in like '90s or before.
I wouldn't say it's generic. It's what's it called? It's too heavily inspired by characters he liked in his childhood, and that happens because a lot of what I've noticed in a lot of your characters, Rick, is that a lot of these were created years ago when you were younger, when
Yeah.
you were still reading comic books regularly, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Exactly, that's what I mean. And I used to do the same thing. I don't have any of my artwork pre. I think I have maybe two pieces, but it's nothing pertaining to anything I was doing. It was my friends' characters from their stories. And I got rid of most of my stuff because I didn't want to do any of that stuff. But the a lot of the stuff was heavily influenced. But I would go through different concept stages. Like I would do a rough draft just to draw it, and then I would go and tweak it. And then if I found that I was like, oh, it looks too much like Wolverine because I think I had a character that did that, or like the Punisher, then I'm like, oh, doggone it, I got to go in there and I got to change it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people to like I'd rather have them recognize the story be close to something like a character like that than the actual art. Is that my phone? Yeah, it was my phone. Another thing I was gonna ask you, Rick, is are you gonna change design per book?
What do you mean?
If you look at Marvel and DC, in the last few years, everything is the same design. You know how to draw the Marvel way, how to draw. Well, in the last few years, Marvel was just like topsy turvy because of the bad artists they have. But back when they were still good, their designs were starting to become all the same because they made the world like all the same. But before, if you remember, like when you were a teenager or a young adult and I was a kid, if you remember, the each book had its own design, like its own concept art. You didn't draw Iron Man on the Iron Man book the same way you drew Iron Man if he came out with Spider Man. You know what I mean? Because there was different artists doing it.
Yeah. Well, I guess once you get.
Okay, let me look it up. No, keep talking.
I
I
was
actually
just gonna say,
want to.
once I get some steady artists or whatever, yeah, like the design. I'm not sure whether that's the right word, but
One thing.
if you look at like Canadian Shield #1 versus Canadian Shield #2, it looks a lot different.
Yeah.
And that's because the first one was me combined with a little bit of John. This next one is my guy Ephraim drawing the whole thing. So it looks a little different that way.
Um, I like this, Tim. I like it a lot. And those two guards around that guy on the throne, bruh, those are toys. Those are toy designs if I've ever seen those. I'd like to see those in like 6-inch figures, or at least, yeah, at least 6-inch figures, like GI Joe style, if not Ninja Turtle style. That armor and all that. That's awesome, bro. I like that. That's what I mean by concept design. Like if you look at these things, that I'm gonna retweet these and I'm gonna at you, Rick.
Okay.
If you see these, that's what I'm talking about. Each has its own design. Like I could see a certain design for the Canadian Shield. He's a very hopeful character. He's a very powerful character. So you want all the art to look like kind of bright and very very hopeful, and also very him be very powerful. It's something that I think that John Dillard as an artist excels at. That he understands different art philosophies. Like that's look at the way he's doing his Buckler books. He has his actual art, his personalized style of art on the main book,
Yeah.
but that the add-on, what is it called, the something of the had moon in the title.
Okay.
Doggone it.
Give
You
a
know which one
clue.
I'm talking about, though. He's drawing that in the design and style of the Batman animated series.
Okay, Timothy asked the question. Yeah, who did you get help from on that book? What book? Uh,
No, not Moon Knight, Eagle.
um,
Like the moon of polar twilight or something like that.
I guess sort of back. Well, I guess back to your question to
The
Timothy.
one shot. Yeah,
Um,
go ahead.
I was gonna say I get. I'm not sure whether I get what you mean by design necessarily. Do you mean like style of art
Well,
or?
it's not just design or not just style of art. It's like it's everything. It's the design of art to the design of the layout and everything. It's kind of like the if you're seeing a movie, the one guy, not the art director, the other one, director for photography or cinematography. There we go. They're the one, the moon of bipolar twilight, of polar twilight. The That's what I'm talking about. That's the design behind it. Like look at the differences between Dune, the new movie, then Dune the movie from '84, and then Dune the series.
Yeah.
They're all the same uh, source material, but they're also different design philosophies and different cinematographies. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. And I would love to see you do that because that's going to allow your books to look
Yeah.
different but still be within the same universe.
Yeah. Well, I'm
It's
trying to
not about a
do.
bisexual pair.
I'm trying to do some different writing styles, for lack of a better way to say, it, on each book. As best as I can. But I get a lot of it will for artistic design and layout will depend probably on the artist. I'm gonna give my artist a fair
He
amount
doesn't
of
even have to
fair amount of
because you're the one
leeway.
designing it.
Pardon it?
So technically, it doesn't have to because you're the one designing it.
What doesn't
You
have
gotta
to?
be you gotta be careful what artists you give a freedom to do that. Not every artist is used to that, especially the newer artists that are more in your price range. A lot of them are not going to be used to it. A lot of them are going to kind of want you to tell them what to do
Yeah,
because they're not going
well,
to understand exactly what you're asking about.
yeah, well, obviously, if I need to work a little closer with,
Ew, Tim, ew.
as I was saying, like if I need to work with an artist a little closer to get them to get things a little bit more down packed to where I'm liking stuff, like um, the two biggest complaints I'll say with my guy that I got right now for um, the Canadian Shield is obviously his slowness, which is probably why I will unfortunately be dealing with him for issue 3 or whatever. Um, but the other thing is sometimes he has a hard time remembering to get the details of the costumes right and all that, the looks of the characters. So, and unfortunately, he's a hard to get in contact with.
Talking about the artist is doing the sequel or the second book for Canadian Shield.
Pardon it?
I said you're talking about the artist that's working on the second Shield book.
Yeah. So, I want somebody that, I can work with, they can come up with a concept and, if I like it, and I depends, if I think something's off, I'll say, I've been shown a page and, before with this guy and I've sent him, went over it. Here, need correction here, here, here. Sometimes he doesn't even pick up on these corrections or he sends me back the page and something I said that needed to be corrected wasn't even corrected. It was like, so, but, I'm going to work, hopefully I'm going to get a different artist on I'm going to get a different artist on Canadian Shield 3. Hopefully I'll be able to keep Dillard for Snowdrift number 2 and I guess another artist completely for the Flame number 1. Um, I don't know, and a lot of it depends on how well my next campaign goes. You know, say I get $10,000, $10,000 to $12,000. I should be able to pay for all those books easily be done for, drawn up and all that with that sort of money.
Is Vic King in your price range?
He might be, and I definitely have thought of him
Why are all Eagle's messages retracted?
because
Somebody signed
Ego
them.
did that. With new artist storyboards are not abide by the stick figure flame number 1 says.
I mean, is the guy just working slow, or because I mean, look,
I know he's had some medical problems. He said he fell down some stairs
okay, this is
once
the same
and
issue
hurt some of his
with
fingers on one
Fatal,
hand.
from what's his name? Doggone it, Sweetcast. He already launched another book, and he still hasn't delivered Fatal. So that's why I didn't promote his other book. That's why I didn't I didn't even back it because I was still working when he was promoting it. And I'm like, yeah, no, bro, that I don't like when people do that. Like, first fix your other book, and he's like, oh well, the guy's got medical issues, and that's why he hasn't been able to finish it. And I'm like, look, I understand that. That sucks, and we are more than willing to like pitch in and help if the dude needs help after you deliver the book. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
think wouldn't it be better for you to finish the book if even if you have to get another artist, we'll help the other artist. I mean, you could always run a fundraiser to help him out with his medical bills.
yeah,
That I'm not against doing that, but you can't stop the process of a book because they can't
yeah,
complete it.
yeah. Well, like I said, that's I think most people here would know. I'm not gonna even start my campaign until I know my book. I'll probably.
Yeah, I know, but that's for future references. I'm not talking about future references. I'm talking about what's going on. This is something that like
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
I get.
I had this conversation with Tim over Twitter when he was telling me, yeah, the artist can't get to this and that. And it's like, yeah, but that's the artist's problems, and it's as horrible as that sounds. I've run a business before, and you have to think about this as a business.
Yeah.
Yes, you did talk to me. I was asking you about Melvin, and you literally said that the guy couldn't reach the place to scan his artwork for one of your books, and you were telling me that he's overseas and this and that, and I kept telling you, well, he should go to digital because overseas or not, it would make it easier for him. He should learn to do digital, and again, because that's his issue, not your issue, Tim. And just like that's the artist's issue. I know he has medical issues, and I'm not trying to be what's
Yeah.
that word?
Mean.
Insensitive? No,
Yeah.
no, it's insensitive. I'm not being mean. This is just straight up facts. Facts aren't mean or nice or evil. Oh, I thought you were talking about Timothy typed me out.